What is going on, everybody? BobbyFi with my man Eric Sheets-Haber. We are going to be talking a little PGA today. I'm sorry, it's that third video in a row, so I actually had to forget which sport for a second. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got another interesting week of golf. Sheets, anything overall you want to look at before we start going price it by pricing tiers?
No, I mean, I have a couple of decent guys who I can't imagine they're as low owned as they are, but we'll get to those. And I got a couple of solid nuggets here that we could talk about. I'm going to be playing, just so you know, a rather condensed player pool this week. Just decided that's what I'm going to do. I could make a lot of things work with the guys I want to play. Mm-hmm. And we had I ran hot on the min cash line last week after some badness with a couple of guys. Brendan Todd had a nice tournament for cheap, and forgot who there was one guy really didn't do too well for me, but I forgot who it was already. But I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move on for this week.
Yeah, same here. I had a lousy week, other than my loving Patton Kazire. That was the one thing I did. All right, let's jump into it. Why don't you pull your screen up and we'll start talking price tiers.
Yeah, no, just so you know, by the way, well, I also again, I'm putting my my grid up on the TrueDFS site. So if you guys want to see my rankings and my value scores and projected ownerships and things like that, it's up on the site, and probably for the next week or 2 weeks it'll probably be free. So may as well take a look at that. And I'm going to put a video up on the best way to make use of that as well.
Yeah, great. That sounds awesome. I want to check it out myself. All right, let's talk about it. So we have the guys above 10K here. Are these ownerships really right, you think? Or close to accurate? Because you know what I'm talking about. Like, we have Bryce and Rory basically unowned or very low owned. Doesn't seem right.
It's really interesting. That's like so weird, because I kind of have that too, and I didn't like it. I didn't like them at all. So I guess that he's not showing up in pretty much anybody's model, I suppose. I guess that's what's happening.
Okay.
But as a matter of fact,
why don't we like Bryce here? He's won at this course before. It's important to be good on the tee to green. Like, I don't really understand why he's not interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm just really not getting to him though.
Okay, I've got him as my favorite play in this upper tier, because factoring somewhat the ownership, and like I said, anyway.
Oh, can you do me a favor? I'm sorry. You got to pause that.
We're back. Kind of a busy morning over here, so sorry about the jumping around, guys. But so who do you like at the high end?
Yeah, so I like Rahm and Thomas above 10K, and then I both have them only like between 10 and 15% maybe. So that's reasonable. And I like Morikawa. Morikawa is, I mean, more expensive than Justin Thomas. Is very. I didn't think you'd see that too. Ever.
Probably appropriate by this point.
Probably appropriate, right?
Yeah.
So I like him a little bit. I didn't get to DeChambeau and didn't quite get to Rory. So those three I think are fine.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning the most towards Bryce, but I definitely like JT and Rahm as well, and probably skipping Morikawa for ownership reasons, I guess, more than anything else. He's going to be the highest owned guy up here, and I mean, obviously all these guys are excellent, but I'm just I'm not touching Jordan Spieth, and I'm not touching. I think it's really the only one who I really am not going to. Spieth and Morikawa are probably the only ones I'm fading, even though I do like Morikawa. It's kind of unfortunate. He might squeak into one or two of my lineups. How about in the if we jump down a tier into the 9K range? I think there's a lot to like here.
Yep.
Who are you looking at?
I got 5 guys here. I mean, I like. I think I like them all. Then I like everybody here, probably except for the guy you might like. I like Hovland. I like Schauffele. I don't like Cantlay or Matsuyama, and I like Connors and Finau and Reed. And then Scheffler's like really freaking close. Actually, no, I'm not quite getting to Scheffler, but my top play on the board is nothing. He's going to be owned, but my top play on the board is Finau at 9,200. Then I'll lose more money on Xander or Schauffele, I guess. All those are my top four: Finau, Schauffele, Hovland, and Reed. Just ownership not included. So I would say Hovland will probably be the chalkiest of all those. So Reed, Finau, Schauffele, those are three. Those are my probably top three overall.
Yeah, I like all those guys. I think Schauffele and Finau are my top two in this range, and Hovland, it's just the same thing with the ownership. I'm never gonna say Victor Hovland is not a great play, like pretty much at any course. So
yeah, right.
The lower owned guys you might want to target here to me would be Scotty Scheffler and Matsuyama. I just think that there's the ownership gap between them and the other guys here. I don't think there's a huge gap in general, and I like to try and stay ahead of things, and I still believe in Scheffler. He's gonna be up and down sometimes, but this guy's, when he's on, every bit as good as everybody around him, and he's gonna be really, really low owned just because the other names in here. So I think I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards trying to play Scheffler some. I understand the Cantlay, I understand the Hovland, I understand the Connors. I think Connors is the one I feel the best about of those three. But I think mostly I'm gonna fade the other two.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, but again, I think that this is where I guess that's why I don't like the 10, 11K guys as much, because I really do like the this range.
Yeah, and I think that I think the ownership's going to be a little bit spread out this week actually on some of the other spots, but I agree with you. And I actually like,
just so you know, my two outright bets are from here. I have two. I bet two guys at 35 to 1 or so. One is Finau and the other is Reed. So
yeah. I like it. Finau. So I'm gonna actually have to. You know what? Because you did it, I'm gonna have to put Patrick Reed on my list, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Let's get down into the 8K range. I think there's some really interesting plays here. I look, you know what I'm going to say to start this off. Okay. I will take some shots on Sam Burns at no ownership. The guy has had the best round, more tournaments than anybody over the last year. Basically, I don't really see why everybody people just jump off and on and all this stuff. And I know there's other great guys around him, but I love Sam Burns here, and I don't mind playing him. Another one when he's on. I actually have him, I think of him and Scheffler fairly somewhat similarly, just in that, if you get the good, you're going to have a guy who's going to be contending on Sunday. If you get the bad, you're going to get a guy who probably misses the cut, or doesn't really factor in on Sunday at all. Burns, and my favorite play in this range by far is Joaquin Niemann. I know he'll have some ownership. I think that Joaquin Niemann, you're getting like a Victor Hovland, but for lower price and actually lower ownership too. So I love Joaquin Niemann. He will be in most of my lineups. He'll be in my big stuff. I also like Fitzpatrick and Oosthuizen. And those are my main guys from this range. I'm always a little nervous not to have Cam Smith in that mix, but those are the guys who I'm mostly using. And then I don't mind going at the very bottom of the thing. Keegan Bradley's going to be super popular, and that's fine. I'll just play Billy Horschel instead.
Yeah, I got a couple others for you here, actually. So for me, Louis looks fine. Keegan Bradley, you mentioned. For me, the guy who is like the best play relative to his ownership by like a lot. I really thought he'd be 15% owned when I saw this price. Is Sungjae Im at 8,200. That's my take on this range. The other guy I would mention, I agree with you with Niemann, and I definitely agree with Billy Horschel. Again, he will be under 10%, but I definitely going to be playing Sungjae Im.
I like it. Okay, you sold me. Anytime anybody wants to play Sungjae Im, I'm always never gonna have a problem with it. Literally, like my favorite guy to root for. Just not my favorite guy, but I like him a lot. Where do you stand on the Keegan Bradley thing? And I understand that he's going to be crazy owned, and maybe I'm missing something. I know he's been really good lately, and is there something else I'm missing that
No, I got him as a top 15 player or so, but at that ownership, I don't need it.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm again gonna, Charlie Hoffman may kill me again, but I'm gonna be willing to let that happen.
What's that?
I'm gonna let Charlie Hoffman kill me again because every time I don't play him, he goes nuts.
Yeah.
But I just like the other guys better in this range, and Oosthuizen, like I mentioned, Horschel, Neiman. Those are my main guys here, and Burns.
Oh, I had kind of sneaky, just had a sneaky Excel issue. Oh, that's sorry to bother you guys with this. It was actually pretty funny actually. All right. Okay. 7K range.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. I think everybody's. I think Gary Woodland is back to being actually getting. He's healthy and he's playing well, and he's 7,900, which is just way too cheap. I like Gary Woodland quite a bit, and I love Tringale as well. And I maybe by the end of this will talk myself into a little bit of Max Homa. I'm not there yet because I like Kevin Streelman. I know he's going to be popular, but I think that he's another one of these guys that feels too cheap, and I like those. Those are my favorites in this upper 7K range, and then you get down to the lower 7K range: Matt Wallace, Patton Kizzire, Russell Henley.
So for me, my top play in the 7K range is going to be really, really chalky. I have him as a top 5 play, and that's Emiliano Grillo. He's going to be near 20% owned, and but I just figured I would announce that. The guy you mentioned, that the 2 guys that you mentioned in the 7K range are, I think, are really, really strong plays. Oh, well, one guy relative to his ownership, and the last guy you mentioned, that's Russell Henley.
Henley, yeah.
Yeah, I like him a lot at that ownership. Streelman's fine, but as you said, chalky. A guy who I'd never play, just ever, and I'm just going to this week because he rates well for me and he's going to be low owned, is Jason Day. You mentioned Tringale, I like him. I don't know if you mentioned Matt Wallace, he's a little chalky. Another guy I'm going to throw in there for one of my former MVPs at 7,100 is I'm going to throw in Matt Jones at 7,100. So,
oh yeah, your guy. Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with the 7K range.
How come? Look, I want to just say one more thing about Patton, because I think we're catching someone on the upswing of their career.
Yep.
And I think that this guy's coming off of back-to-back thirds. He's a monster of a human being. Maybe I'm a height supremacist. I for some reason,
you mentioned that last week.
He's a big dude. He's the biggest guy on tour. I just think that he's really good, and I think 7,300 just feels really cheap. I really like this range actually. This whole 7K area it feels like I don't need to maybe find as many guys below 7K just because I really like this range. And one other guy we didn't mention along with Matt Jones that also has done well for you in the past is Taylor Gooch.
Yes,
to do well in this course and is pretty consistently a cut maker with some upside.
All right, so running the risk of.
I missed one. Can I throw in one other guy?
Yeah.
Sorry, that I forgot about him. Again, I'm always going to be. I like Carlos Ortiz a little bit. I guess I'll just say that.
Running the risk of not having anybody to play for our game. I don't like a soul under 7K. There's actually one guy who's going to be actually chalky. And I'm just not playing a $6,100 chalk guy. But I'll give it to you. Kyle Stanley is the one who's going to project the best.
Oh, that's a very good point, actually.
And he's and if you want, if you need him, that's what you do. But you are getting chalk, and I literally don't like anybody else. So I am going to be defaulting under the 7K ranges.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with Stanley. Russell Knox is the other one at the same time.
Yeah, that would be the second one, actually. Yeah.
If you wanted to get kind of weird with it, and it's interesting though because I actually don't mind playing. Okay, I don't mind if he's a little bit owned, Kyle Stanley, just because I think you can get different enough with your lineup, because I just don't see that many people needing to go below 7K, which should make him really low owned, which should make him lower owned than maybe the projections have him, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe people will all just try and cram and pay up, but that's just what I had. Benny On's been playing a little bit better, but still not going to be able to do it, I don't think. Patrick Rogers, I always have some interest because I still believe in this kid. He's been mediocre for me, and he's been terrible for me. I haven't really gotten the big Patrick Rogers game yet, but again, he's 6,500. Richie Wawrinski has just been consistently sort of in the mix, and 6,700 is the guy I would consider as well. But again, I don't find myself needing to go down here. The one other guy, though, look, I think that I think Doc Redman is looked more like Doc Redman as the one from last year instead of the one from this year. Over his last two tournaments, he's looked a lot better. So if you want to get real cheap, he's another one I was considering.
By the way, I would like to give some not that he needs my props, but props to what's his name from who won last week, the Kokrak.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was fighting like an insane home court advantage where the entire universe at that course was rooting against him and rooting for Spieth. And he just kept his freaking cool and just did his thing. That was just an awesome performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know it's always weird like that. It's Patrick Reed must feel all the time because everybody hates him.
Right. No, but nobody hated him. Kokrak.
No, I know.
Everybody just loved Spieth just
right.
so much, you know?
Right. It would have been like the week before if somehow, who was it? Was it Oosthuizen? I mean, people like Oosthuizen, but like, I mean, against Phil, nobody's going to be yelling for anybody over Phil, you know?
Right.
Sort of like that. But all right, so let's do the game here. Let's see what we got. Who is going to win this tournament, Chiefs?
Yeah, I guess John Rahm.
Okay, I'll take Bryce. And let's get into the 9K range. We're top five in, right?
Yeah, top five. I'll go. All right, I'll go my top. I may as well put my top play on the board. I'll go Finau.
And I will take Xander.
Very nice.
And in the 8K range, wow, I've got a couple guys I want to play here. All right, you go first.
Yeah, my guy's not going to make the top 10. But I guess at 5%, I got to give. You know what? I'm going to give the guy who's actually going to get the top 10. He's going to be chalky. Well, maybe not that chalky. Matt Fitzpatrick.
I like that. I actually I had circled that right as you were saying it because I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I'll take Neiman.
I like him too.
Yeah. 7K range. Top 20.
Grillo.
Oh, okay. Let me make sure I've got a little bit more Grillo. I'll take
chalky though.
I'll take Russell Henley.
Yeah, that would be my next one.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna take Patton Kazire. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
I do like Russell Henley.
Like and don't play any better than the 7K. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't play Kyle Stanley either. I want. You know what? I want to play hitters against him. I want to play stacks.
Play the course against him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, guys, this is great. Hopefully we're helpful. Hopefully you guys crush it this week, and we will see you at the top of the leaderboards. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Good luck. I'll